So this workshop is all about informing the key stakeholders of TELS, which includes the universities, the different government ministries, the student associations, and also the employer organizations in terms of the new schemes of scholarships announced in the recent budget by the coalition government. So this is to create the awareness in terms of the eligibility criteria, the selection criteria, how to apply online, and when the scholarship will be open from next year. The application for grant has opened this year, while the application for the different schemes of scholarship will open from next year, semester 1. So the importance of this awareness handbook is that we will have the digital copies also available, readily available on the social media pages of TELS and on the website, and we'll be distributing the e-copies to all the schools so that they can share within their parent-teacher networks with the year 12 and year 13 students. And also we want this information not to be only available to the potential recipients, but to the wider community as well, to see the kind of scholarships the current government is giving to the students. So the significance of this book is that it will be self-explanatory to the public. They can read and understand when we go for the awareness, so they'll have less questions to ask because they will definitely understand what is in the book. And I think for the students, they need to know and they need to make up their mind in terms of the kind of program they want to do. So if they definitely want a merit-based scholarship overseas, they need to score 340 plus if they want to study overseas. If they want to study, let's say, want to do MBBS, they need to score 340 also. So I think it also gives a message to the students who are in year 13 that amount of time they should be investing in terms of getting good marks in their year 13 to qualify for the different scholarship that is out there in different schemes from next year. All the scholarship schemes, there are 9 scholarship schemes, 2 grant schemes and 1 study loan scheme. So all the scholarship schemes will start from next year. We are considering at the moment the tuition hardship study scheme to open from this year. For that is to target the private students from year 2 onwards. So these students, they may not have qualified when they applied for the scholarship or study loans previously, but they are performing really well in terms of their grade, but they're finding financial hardship in terms of taking the full load. So we will assist them in terms of their tuition fee. So we're considering to open this particular scheme from this financial year, particularly within 2 months, while the other schemes of scholarships and the TELS in service will be from next year. And the application for the grant is open because that is not tied to the semester base, and the grant is in the areas of construction, tourism and hospitality, and also in the automotive area. So with this grant, we want the unemployed youths and those adults who would like to earn a career in these 3 industry sectors. Just they need to get offer letter from an existing training provider, or even they can get the offer letter from the vocational centers of the schools of Ministry of Education, and any other industry partner which has got a training facility. They can get the offer letter, they can apply, we'll give them the grant. So this will be minimum of 1 month of training, right? So for example, if we are losing a lot of skilled people in the construction sector, right? We want the tourism industry to help us in terms of our economic recovery. They're doing so well, but they also need human resources. So with this 1 month of training, they can start in terms of the housekeeping duties, assisting in the front office operations and the other areas of the hotels. While we need the new buildings to be built, we don't have qualified tile layers, plumbers, joinery makers. So this grant will definitely absorb the unemployed youth into this meaningful study, and then definitely they can earn a career in these sectors. They will apply from next year. So the marks are listed over here, right? And what are the requirements? For example, if they are applying for, let's say, merit-based local scholarship, let's say in medicine, and if they want to do MBBS, they need to have 340 plus. And then there are the other criteria also. They need to get offer letter from the university which is offering the medical program. So these are the criteria which is listed very clearly in the handbook, and will help the student in terms of when they will be ready to apply. We'll open the application in December, our online application, and the students will submit everything except the year 13 result and the final offer letter. So once they get the year 13 result, sometimes in January, the universities will give them the offer letter. They upload the offer letter data on our system, and then just a click of the button, we give them the scholarship offer. Yes, my strong message to the students is that, and the parents, is that they need to be making a decision which particular program, the child will be taking in the tertiary studies. We have seen at times that parents, they ask us to sponsor a particular program for their son or daughter, while the son or daughter, they don't want to do that particular program. So definitely we want to fund the choice where the student is passionate about it. We had cases where the students, they just followed their friends and they enrolled in a wrong program. Halfway through the program, they want to move to another program. We only change the program in the first year. So if you've gone to the second year of program, we can't change. And then they say they're not passionate about it, they're failing all the courses. So we want the students to be quite upfront. They should be making their decision, and the information available here should really guide them the kind of program they want to apply and start from next year. We launched the first ever handbook last year, and the global best practice, as highlighted by Honorable Minister, is that all the scholarship agencies around the world, they have a handbook. So prior to 2022, TSLS was not having a public handbook. So we have started this trend from last year, and that's the reason we have launched it this year, and we'll be doing it in future. So this makes the information more transparent and readily accessible to the public. So in this information age, with the information bombardment, there can be false information, there can be speculation. So this book will be readily available on the social media platforms, and through the different network of networks, which will help the students to make the right decision and not to be misled with any false information. We are a service-driven organization. We are funded by the taxpayer, and it's our role in terms of widening the information on TSLS to the wider public of Fiji. My message to them is that they need to make up the firm decision, the program they want to do, and once they start the program, they need to ensure that the tuition fee, the allowance, will be paid by the taxpayers of Fiji. So the taxpayers of Fiji, they have got an expectation when they are sponsoring their scholarship. We want them to really study hard and complete the program within the bond period. For example, if you are doing a 3-year program, we want the students to complete the program within 3 years. Some students, they take up 4 years, 5 years, or some takes up even 6 years, right? So I think, if they really, looking forward for the scholarship from the government, they need to be quite focused in terms of the studies and not to lose any kind of, interest in the studies. Of course, if they lose any interest, the universities are there to guide them. TSLS is there to guide them through our learning support program to help them to complete the program.